Hey guys, welcome back. This is the first episode of the new Pajero. This is actually a hand-me-down from my partner's family. They have had this car for about 20 years and basically it's surplus to their needs now. They got another runaround. It's a bit smaller and easier to park and probably a whole lot nicer to drive. But yeah, now this thing's mine. They were generous enough to let me have it. So I'm gonna see what I can do to breathe a new life into it, and might do a build series along the way. And yeah, I'll do a quick run around of what it is now and sort of what I have planned for it. Alrighty, here we are up on the hoist for the very first time. So you'll learn as I learn. It's looking okay. These tie rod ends have seen better days. I would probably go ahead and assume that pretty much all these things are gonna need replacing at some point. Tie rod ends, which is these guys here. This is your lower ball joint, and up here you have your upper ball joint. They probably all need replacing, as well as maybe a couple of steering components too, maybe some sway bar links. It does have a really horrible noise when you put it into four-wheel drive and try to move forwards and backwards. So stay tuned for that one. It looks like the suspension has been replaced at some stage in its life, but it is rusty. So that'll eventually start leaking and then the car will drive really badly. So that's probably worth addressing pretty soon too. Other side we got same sort of thing. Lower ball joints leaking some grease. Tie rod end is also leaking like it's its job. And upper ball joint has a bunch of grease around it too. And this shock absorber here has a bunch of rust on it. So yeah, that probably all needs doing as well. I don't know how far I'm gonna go on this car, but typical my fashion, I'll probably get carried away and do everything. It does have a pretty substantial oil leak too, which is probably just a valve cover gasket, rocker cover gasket, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, as you can see around all of this, it's all very wet, so probably head to the car wash and just degrease it all to begin with, and then just sort of see where it's leaking from after that, because you can chase your tail on that sort of thing for a long time, but until you know exactly where it's coming from, you really are just throwing parts at it and costing yourself money when it could be something as simple as like a rocker cover gasket, and they're real cheap and very easy to replace. But this is probably more than that. Could be rear main seal, which means splitting engine and gearbox and putting a new rear main seal in it. But the fact that the oil is coming from further and further and further up, it's probably start with a valve cover gasket anyway. Back here, so you don't have springs in these older Pajeros, you have torsion bars in the front. So this bar is under constant tension. It is your spring. And you can lift your own car by adjusting this bolt. This bolt here, you wind it in and you give yourself more height, or wind it out, whichever way it is. It's been a long time since I've adjusted the suspension on a torsion car. So yeah, this long bar here is your spring. Same on the other side, obviously. Exhaust, as mentioned earlier, I work in a custom exhaust shop, so all this guy has to go. This car is very quiet, and I don't like it. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely change that. Just do 3-inch 409 stainless steel exhaust. 3 inches probably overkill for this car, but it ain't gonna hurt. Turbo cars love to breathe. You basically cannot put too big of an exhaust on a turbo car. Turbo diesel, turbo petrol, go as big as you can possibly fit and afford. I don't care what anyone says, they are wrong. Bigger is better. No exhaust, in fact, is the very best, but you can't do that on a passenger car. Rear diff as well, looks like it has some sort of leaking issue. It is covered in road grime, could just be road grime. It is on the rear sway bar, and yeah, it's kind of everywhere. Rear seal here, it's leaking as well. And gearbox has some oil on it, so that's probably got a leak as well somewhere, but we will worry about that when we get to it. As for other stuff under here, I'm really sorry if the camera work is not great. I am learning as I'm going, so if I'm not pointing at things properly, I apologize. Let me know, I'll go back and go over it again with you. It has a bunch of surface rust on all the front faces, very typical for an older car. This car also lived most of its life out west, and but last few years, last 10 years or so, has been on the Sunshine Coast. So it's it would have had like its factory sort of paint worn off by dusty, dirty roads, and then it's come to the coast, and yeah, that's just gonna breed rust. So do have some spots that I do need to assess and attend to. Little spots like up here. This is the side step mount, so we get rid of this, we get rid of all the rust here. The biggest issue is like this one here. Up in your engine bay, I should have shown you before, but up in your engine bay, you have a spot that gathers a lot of leaves and debris and dirt and mud and sand and all that sort of stuff, and moisture. All those things will lead to rust. So it does have some rust here, which means having to cut out like a patch here, and probably a patch on the inside of the car to fix that properly. So yeah, you can sort of see here what I'm talking about. Right up in here is all the dirt that gets inside your wheel arches, and it just like it'll just live in there. So it's really hard to clean that spot, but it is possible. It may mean removing your guard liner, which is not a horrible, it is a horrible job, but it's not a massive job, and then just getting in there with a hose and washing it all out. Your vehicle will thank you for it. As for what else is going on down here, some relatively new-ish rear suspension, just a bit dusty and dirty. So that's cool. Rear springs look to be factory, so maybe I can put some bigger ones in there and lift it up an inch or two. Tires are good, they're okay for now. And apart from that, we just have a little bit more rust back here. So up on your chassis rail here, we have some rust starting. It is only just starting though. It's not horrible rust. There's no holes. So probably just gonna get in there with a wire brush and a drill and brush all that off and paint it and seal it up for the future. Get to it now, we won't have to worry about it so much later. So apart from that, exhaust as mentioned earlier, all these brackets back here are pretty rusty up in here, but they can just be unbolted, removed, thrown away, remade. Not too fussed about that sort of thing. So yeah, all in all, actually a little bit better under here than I originally thought. So let's, yeah, I'll bring it down, kick it outside, and probably take it to the car wash and get rid of some of that grease in the engine bay, see what we've got. Cool. Alrighty, so first things first, the nudge bar has had a bit of a nudge. So I'm thinking is maybe just cut this lower apron off, unbolt it, and see if I can maybe just tweak the mounts, pull it forward, get it sitting where it's supposed to be sitting, and probably get rid of the factory bash plate, this one here. They're usually pretty thin and tend to break and not do a whole lot of protection. This has done its job at some point in its life and has broken all the welds. So I think I might just cut it off, and maybe I'll try to join a plate down from here, and I don't know, maybe make a little bit more like Baja style front bar for it. It's kind kind of just an idea I had. Spotlights, I don't think they work, so I'm just going to get rid of them. These mounts were for something, not sure what. Get rid of those as well. Maybe some new indicator lights. They've seen better days. Aerials a bit dodgy. Radio doesn't really work. The wheels and tires are way too small. Need to go bigger. It actually looks like it's already got a bit of a lift. It's a little bit taller than some I've seen, so height wise I think I might just leave that alone for now, and maybe just little things like get rid of these side skirts, steps. That'll just help it look a little bit taller too. Thinking 285 75 16s or maybe 33 by 15s. Not 100% sure on that yet. See what I can find. Exterior wise, yeah, it needs some paint. It needs some love. It needs a wash. This is flaking off, but it's a solid car. It's really nice to drive. It's the 2.8 turbo diesel. It's manual. It drives really, really nice. 350,000 Ks. It's been in the family for a long time. They've done a great job keeping it going. But yeah, they've maybe not loved the outside of it, but its nickname is the horrible green vehicle. That one there. But yeah, might fix this up a bit as well. Maybe get rid of the tow bar. It's not towing anything, so yeah, apart from that, just tidy up a few spots around the place. It's got a little bit of rust. A little spot here, a little spot up here. That's probably how that there is probably caused by this guy here letting some water in. It's come down here, got stuck, nowhere to go, and it started rusting. Yeah, apart from that, just needs a good clean, like little bits like that. It needs the tint removed and done again as well. Yeah, it just needs some loving. It's yeah, see what we can do. Figured while I remembered it, I'll bring the car down, pop the bonnet again, and show you what I meant about the rust in these little spots here. So this is right where your battery is, down against your firewall, down in here. So I'll chuck the torch there. You can see, out the way, you can see all these leaves and stuff down in these little crevices. That is where that rust has started from. So it's a really, really important spot to wash when you're washing your car, is down in there. Another pet peeve of mine is leaves in here. Once the same sort of deal. It'll just promote rust, and it also promotes just it can cause fires in engine bays. Obviously, dry leaves, hot engine, fire. Yeah, so as mentioned, lots of greasy, oily stuff around the engine bay. Sorry I didn't have the light earlier. Yeah, so lots of oil leaking out of the rocker cover gasket. It is dry above the rocker cover gasket, so it's probably that. So it's a little gasket that goes in between your valve cover, rocker cover, same thing. In between there, the valve cover, and your head, you have a gasket. It is this one in here, and that is where it seems to be leaking the most from. So I'll need new ones of these as well. And yeah, so apart from that, we just got greasy, dirty stuff everywhere. I'll probably chuck a new air filter in it. Maybe I'll make a snorkel for it. Maybe I'll buy a plastic one. I think the plastic one probably suits this age of vehicle better, but it means spending money. So I have lots of pipe, and my boss is a really good dude, so I might just borrow some and make a snorkel, maybe, or I'll buy an eBay one, who knows. But yeah, hoses are important to check, older cars, newer cars as well. Hoses cause, well, worn out hoses cause boost leaks, water leaks from your radiator, all sorts of issues. Keep an eye on them. So yeah, this is probably the first video of a build series I'm going to do for this car. So yeah, stay tuned and let's see if we can bring this thing back to life. The mighty powerhouse, intercooled turbo diesel, state of the art for 1994. Yeah, it's got, like I mentioned, it's got a couple of little issues. It's got a real bad hard start issue where it just don't want to start. So I have already picked up a lift pump for it. The old fuel pump down here is just a bit tired, maybe just a little bit sad. So a lift pump will help just give the fuel pump just a push of diesel. Should help with the starting issue, should give it a little bit more power as well. It's pretty lacking on power, but I guess this thing never had a whole lot to begin with, so if we can get it back to a bit more, that'd be fantastic. It does do a little bit of highway driving to get me to work now. So yeah, have actually been driving this thing for the past few days. I really like it. One of the things that is concerning me though is this radiator. You can see here it's gone like yellow and a little bit cracked. I don't know if you can see those little cracks in it. That is a surefire sign that this radiator is going to give up. That's the biggest giveaway for your radiator. If it's looking like that, replace it now before summer. And it doesn't really matter how good your coolant is. That is very good though. Yeah, if your radiator is brittle like that, when you get a really hot day, it'll just pop this tank off, or it'll blow this hose off, and this little neck here will go with the hose, and you're stuck on the side of the road. Yeah, at a best case scenario. Worst case scenario is you don't notice and you cook your engine, and then you're up for a whole lot more. So yeah, that's kind of like the first things first. It obviously needs an oil change, maybe a brake fluid flush. Brakes is something I don't like messing with myself, but maybe on this one I'll give it a shot. Maybe I get someone to give me a hand. So yeah, that's sort of the top side of the car anyway. Yeah, let's chuck it up on the hoist and have a quick look underneath with me, because I haven't done that yet. So yeah, this is what I mean about the hard start issue. So I've let it glow, and away it goes. Just takes a few too many cranks for my liking. It's obviously worse in the mornings. Yeah, apart from that, like, the radio does work. It's not fantastic, but it does work. A little angle gauge does work. Battery gauge does work. Oil pressure gauge does not work. Hopefully that means it's the gauge and not the fact that I've got no oil pressure, but I doubt it's that. Yeah, so also steering wheel needs replacing. It needs replacing, and just things need cleaning, like where there used to be P plates and L plates. Like I mentioned, this was my partner's family car. All the kids learned how to drive manual in it, so yeah, sticker residue on the windscreen. Apart from that, interior is in really good condition. Just needs a clean. So I'm gonna head to car wash now, give it a clean, and in the next video I'll probably fit that lift pump and maybe play a little bit with the exhaust. Maybe remove those side steps and fix the front bar. So yeah, stay tuned. Get ready for part 2. Bye.